Hey guys! Today is going to be one of my more requested videos, surprisingly, and it is plant products that I actually endorse and use for myself. Basically products that I think are worth spending money on for our plants. There are so many plant products on the market right now, and I know it can be kind of hard to navigate through them. I am sure that there's other products that work great as well. These are the ones I've been using for an extended period of time that I've had really great success with. So of course this isn't an exhaustive list. These are just ones that I personally have experience with. So yeah, all of the products I mention will be linked down in the description box if you want to try any of them out for yourself. If you have any questions about the products, leave a comment down below. Or if there are products that I don't mention in the video that you think are really worth the buy, please also leave them down below. It would be really helpful for myself to try out some new products as well as others, I'm sure. Links in the description box, comments down below. Okay, let's get into it. So I guess we will start with my biggest section of the list, which is pest control. Number one, I'm sure you could have guessed, is mosquito bits. I have been using this since the beginning of my plant care days, about 5 years ago or so, and I have great success with this. I use this for fungus gnat control, and you guys, I really don't have a fungus gnat problem. You can make like a mosquito bit tea, I think it's called, and water your plants with that. So soak mosquito bits in water and then just pour it over your plants, pour it over the plant soil, or you can just do what I do, either mix it into the soil you are potting your plants in or shake them on top. I will say these do get fuzzy, and I know people, that's probably one of the most common DMs I get is about the fuzzy mosquito bits, and that's because they are made out of organic material, because that's what mosquito larva or fungus gnat larva feeds on. So it is organic material. If it bothers you, you can mix it into your soil or do the tea, or just ignore it because it's not really going to harm your plant. You can shake it onto the top of the soil, and then using like a skewer or something, just press the bits like below the surface level of the soil. A couple of things you can do with that, but these do work really well. This is something I will probably continue buying forever and ever as long as I have plants in my house. Mosquito bits are gonna be in my house. This is like the 4th time I've filled up this thing, so I go through it quite a bit. Next up on the pest control section of this is Captain Jack's Dead Bug, which the two that really stand out to me that it handles are spider mites and thrips, two of the more common pests that we see in our indoor houseplants. This is one you can use as a preventative measure, and also a really great one to use if maybe you weren't if your preventative measures weren't as successful as you'd like and you find yourself with some thrips or spider mite. There's also a few other bugs it handles as well, but again, those are like the most common ones. So this one is actually the concentrate. So I should have brought it down here. I have like a squirt bottle. I mix the concentrate in just according to instructions on the back, and then I'll spray my plants with them. And how this works is it actually, I don't know the sciencey words. It does something to the pest's like nervous system, and I'm not exactly sure what because I'm not a scientist. It does say that this should kill the bugs within a few days. Typically I use this when I've noticed an outbreak of some sort, or it's been a while since I had an outbreak, so I'm getting a little nervous that it's about time I had an outbreak, because it happens every once in a while. It's just something that happens with indoor plants. But yeah, then I'll go ahead and mix up the concentrate, spray my plants. I'll usually like put them in a bathroom or a spare room somewhere, let the Captain Jacks dry on it, and then I'll give them one more spray of it, let it dry and sit there for a few days, and then I'll go ahead and rinse the plants off, and usually by then the pests are gone. And I really don't have too many pest issues, because I do use quite a few different products for them that seem to work pretty well. Okay, so yeah, Captain Jack's. Next up is neem oil. This one is the Garden Safe Neem Oil Extract. It is a concentrate again, so I have a separate bottle that I'll mix some water with this, again according to the instructions on the back of the bottle, although there is a pre-made one I really like as well. I just prefer the concentrate. How this works, I use this more as a preventative measure, so every so often, every like month or so, I will spray my plants really well with this. I'll spray the tops of the soil, all of the leaves, top and bottom, and then the stems. I actually even will clean my leaves with this because it does actually absorb into the plant tissue, which especially for bugs, like what bugs does it say it's for? Okay, so it says control of aphids, spider mites, scale, whiteflies, beetles, leaf rollers, and other insect pests. Yeah, I will coat my entire plant with this, and like I said, it's more preventative, so it does take more time to work. It's not something that you just spray on them and they like die within a few days. but it is absorbed into the plant material, so like the stem, leaves, roots, and as the insects like suck the sap or eat the leaves, that has absorbed the neem oil. Oh gosh, I'm so out of breath. In a way, it like turns off the pest hormones that stops their desire to mate and feed, so they do slowly starve to death, or you won't have like the life cycle continuing on, like they won't keep mating. Although, like I said, this is more of a preventative one I use, because it's not like you spray it and they die instantly. If there are larvae or eggs anywhere on your plant or in the soil, then you will have to wait for those to hatch for that life cycle to die as well before it actually works. So if you're having an outbreak, this maybe isn't like the best thing to use as a treatment for that. Preventatively, it works really great, and I've had great success with it. So I do highly recommend this. Although I know there's kind of a debate, like I've seen some people post how neem oil doesn't work. It works, you just have to do it consistently before you even notice the problem, really. So just keep that in mind, okay? Keep that in mind. It works, I promise. Next up, diatomaceous earth, and this is actually the last pest prevention type thing. I love this stuff. It has worked really, really well. There's also a debate on this because people are like, oh, well, if you just, okay, actually, let me breathe a little bit. So I've used this for a long time. I've gone through half this bag and it's quite a big bag. Oh, and I should say this is the food grade diatomaceous earth, which is the one I recommend getting. Because it is safer for indoors and to be around humans and other mammals. Like, of course, you don't want to go around just like willy-nilly breathing this if you can avoid it. Like, I'll usually wear a mask as I'm applying this, but you don't have to worry too much about it. Like, that's just what I do. It is a bit safer. So yeah, okay, let me say how this works. Basically, bugs that come in contact with this is just gonna tear them up. Like, think if we were just walking through like shards of glass on the sidewalk, it would just tear them up. That's how it works to kill the bugs. So this does work really well. The one downside of this though is it has to be dry to work. So how I personally use this, and I know people argue with me about this all the time, but I promise it does its job still. I do bottom water, so keep that in mind. And as I'm bottom watering, I don't necessarily bottom water to the point that the top of the soil is getting wet, but I will go ahead, take a little makeup brush or the duster, this thing that comes with it, and I will actually coat like the base of the plant and the top layer of soil in this. Any bugs that are gonna crawl through that at the top of the soil are going to get shredded up. They're gonna get cheese grated. So, I mean, it does work, but if you're somebody that top waters your plants, that's maybe not the best way to use this. And you could maybe, if you have a plant that you're worried about, put it in like a bathtub or something. Try to avoid using this outside. Bees do have ways to protect themselves from products like this, but just better safe than sorry. If you can, do it indoors, so you're not going to harm like beneficial bugs that are outdoors. But you can spray your plant completely, coat the tops of leaves, bottoms of leaves, the stems, the top of the soil, and then even like the drainage hole, and let it sit there for like a day or two, and then go ahead and rinse it off. And then maybe once the plant dries, repeat that process just to be safe. But like I said, I do just put this on the tops, especially of my larger plants. So like my Monstera, my Bird of Paradise, Ficus Audrey over there all has a layer of this on the top of the soil, again, because I do bottom water, so the diatomaceous earth isn't getting wet. I have also mixed this in when I am repotting my plants in my soil mixture, and although the soil does get wet, of course, even with bottom watering, I've noticed a difference, and that's, I think, because I do let my plants, for the most part, dry between waterings. Now, of course, maybe this isn't a great option for plants that like to stay damp or moist, but like cacti, succulents, even Hoya, I've had really great success mixing this in to the soil mixture before I pot the actual plants. So that's what I do. You don't have to do it. I know a lot of people disagree with me on this one, but it's just my opinion. I'm not forcing anybody to do anything, I swear. You do what you feel is best for you. But yeah, anyway, diatomaceous earth works great. Okay, so next up we're on to fertilizers, and I'm just gonna go ahead and get this one out of the way because I know you guys have heard me talk about this before already a million times, and it is Liquidirt. I freaking love Liquidirt. I recommend it to everybody. I am an affiliate with them now after using it for a year and a half, so I do have a coupon code. Here it is right here if you want to try it for yourself. I do highly recommend it. Like, even if you don't use my 25% off code, then I still recommend trying it because it is a really awesome product and I've had really great success with it. And again, this is another one that I know there's it's a little bit up in the air for people, but me personally, I've seen a huge difference in my plants when using this as opposed to some of the other things I was using before, which the other stuff worked great too, but this really I give this full credit. It made my Hoyas bloom. My plants are growing so much healthier with this stuff. I use it on my outdoor veggie garden as well. So I really, really believe in the product. If you don't believe in it, that's fine. Again, I'm not trying to force anybody, but yeah, if you want to try it, here's my 25% off coupon code. It will also be down in the description box. Yeah, Liquid Earth. And again, I do have a video about how to use Liquid Earth, so I will put that up here if you want to go watch that if you decide to try it out. But if you've tried it, please leave a comment. Let me know your experience with it because my plants have been doing really, really well with this. So yeah, I'm gonna shut up now about this because I could go on and on forever. I'll love it and my plants love it. Okay, I'll shut up now. The next fertilizer plant food-esque type product is actually this Miracle-Gro Orchid Plant Food Mist. And yes, you could definitely mix your Liquid Earth, put it in a spray bottle and spray it on all of your plants, but that's more effort than I want to go to. So I do just get this stuff, this Miracle-Gro spray. It's almost empty. I use it on my orchids and also my Hoyas as well, and they do really well with it. So yeah, every time I water the plants, I do still fertilize with the Liquid Earth water mix every single time I water them. And then I'll also go in and spray the foliage and stems of the plant with this stuff. Just try to avoid the flowers or blooms if possible. But yeah, maybe there's better stuff on the market, but I tried this and it's pretty inexpensive and has worked well in my experience. I mean, my orchids have bloomed a lot with this, but also with the Liquid Earth. So the combination of the two seems to do the trick for me. Miracle-Gro ready to use orchid plant food mist. Easy peasy. And then the last fertilizing type thing that I do also recommend, I don't actually have the bag here with me because it's something I mix into my soil mixture before I go to pot my plants. And I will do a mass soil mix. Here's a list of all the products I use. I will also link all of them down below, all the products I use when I'm mixing my own soil. I do like to mix in worm castings, specifically the Espoma brand worm castings. Highly recommend. And again, here's a complete list of all of the ingredients I personally like to use in my soil mixture. I've tried a lot of soil mixing things like different brands and additive type things. So these are the ones I really love. And again, I don't have all of the bags of everything, but the exact brands I use will be down in the description box. And I don't have the bags simply because I buy the stuff and mix it all up so I can just have a huge bucket of it to go to. I don't have to mix it every single time I'm potting. And yeah, but they'll all be down there. They will all be down there, but worm castings for sure. This next category are kind of miscellaneous type things. Number one are grow lights, and obviously the grow lights are kind of big. I have them zip tied into my grow tent, but I will insert footage of the ones I use. They are like a bright white. I've bought many of these. They work really, really well, and my plants are doing extremely well on them in my grow tent. So yeah, I think they're really awesome option if you're looking for some grow lights for a little bit of a bigger area. Although I know they do have them in smaller sizes as well. So you can do different sizes depending on what you need. And then the last two products are definitely more random even. So first up are these thicker plastic saucers to go under my plants to catch water. So I'm not making a mess. I love them. They come in several different sizes. Like it comes in a pack with, is it 3 or 4 sizes? I haven't ordered in a while. I think it's 4 sizes. But they're under $20 and they're ones that are going to last me forever. Like I'll probably have these ones I've bought as long as I have plants again. And I will continue getting them as long as I keep needing more for more plants. But I really like them because the lip on them is a little bit thicker than most other plastic saucers you buy online. They're clear, and I know maybe they're not like the cutest, but that doesn't really bother me. There are cuter options on there that I do really think are cute, but it's just not worth it to me to spend more money on something like cute when these are just as functional and like half the price. So yeah, I do really like them. I mean, like, look at how not flexible this thing is. Like if I have a plant in here, I can pick it up by the end like this and not have to worry about the thing, giving in and dropping the plant. So yeah, I really like these, and I recommend you try them if you're looking for some new plant saucers. So yeah, definitely worth the money, because yeah, they're good. They're good. Okay, and then the last thing on my list is kind of random. It is a cafeteria tray, but I also use like boot trays in my grow tent, so like they're just bigger. They're basically this but bigger. But I think these are really awesome to put under your plants on a shelf or something. I'll insert clips of my grow tent. These are what I do keep under all of those plants so that I can just water the plants. It'll all drain out onto here, or I can bottom water onto here and the plants will soak it up. So it just holds a lot more plants, and I think it's a good idea, especially if you don't necessarily want to get like some of these for individual plants. You can fit quite a bit more plants onto something like this, or even the larger boot trays. It's an idea, and it makes it easier to transport more plants. So like I have a few of these in my propagation room, so like as I'm moving propagations or like doing taking cuttings and potting them into the sphagnum moss, I will go ahead and put them on here, and then I can put them into my prop boxes. I will have an updated propagation box video and like FAQ type thing coming out soon, but that is a method I use for some of the boxes. So yeah, it makes it really easy to be able to transport like more plants at one time. So yeah, that's why I recommend it. And then last up, kind of on the soil mixture thing, I recommend Best Grow sphagnum moss. Again, I don't have like the packaging for it because I go through it so fast that I just get it, open it all, dampen it all, and like basically use it that day. But I have a lot of success propagating in sphagnum moss. You guys already know this. I love sphagnum. It has changed the game for me and my plants and my plant propagations. So those are all of my favorite products. Do we agree on any of them? Do we disagree on any of them? Have you tried any of these, or do you plan to try any of these? I'm really interested to hear. Oh, and then also please tell me what some of your favorite plant products are. I love me a good plant product recommendation. So I will be reading through all the comments down there. Again, everything will be linked down in the description box if you'd like to use my link to buy some of these products. I do get a small cut from those links, so keep that in mind. If you don't want me to get a cut from it, then you could Google it through not my link. So yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.